Turning Point ambassador Bobby Sausalito is here. Bobby, great to see you tonight. So there you have it. Biden spending just 12 minutes there with these Air Force cadets. They came to visit, received the Commander-in-Chief's trophy. I mean, why can't he make it through a single day without making a fool of himself?
It's quite clear that this person is just doesn't have his wits about him, and it's just a perfect example. Just like John Fetterman, he doesn't even need to exist. If they could never put him on camera, I really think they would prefer that. It's embarrassing.
Yeah, and what really blows my mind is that Democrats, they're aware of these nonstop gaffes. They're jumping through hoops to come up with excuses. And today we saw the cackling hens on The View going so far as to say this. Watch.
And there's nothing to indicate that there's anything wrong with Joe Biden up here.
Well, I'll tell you something. I'd rather have Joe Biden drooling than any Republican.
I mean, You mentioned John Fetterman, and that's the classic example right there, right? They voted for John Fetterman. Obviously, feel sorry for him. I hope he gets better, but he's not well. They voted for him. They'd rather have somebody like that. They'd rather have a Joe Biden rather than any Republican. Is that how far we've fallen?
It's actually quite a genius strategy. And when you see people around him, they act like you would act to an elderly grandfather. You give him the respect, you smile and laugh, and you're like, okay, grandpa. But it's a genius plan. They put a person that's not there. And Joy Behar says right out loud, I'd rather a drooling person. Like I said in the last segment with you, they would rather literally a bag of meat. They would just throw them in a pile and say, this is the president of the United States. They honestly would prefer that. They could care less who is there. And they use a nice old doddering grandpa as their front man.
It's amazing. I mean, who do you think, Bobby? There's a lot of speculation around this, but who do you think's calling the shots behind the scenes?
Well, I mean, I think the easiest answer would be the King of America, Barack Obama. But really, who's in control is the corporations that finance all of these people. It's really those people, and really the mainstream legacy media that finances and lifts and elevates these people. Joy Behar is an employee. All of these women, the cackling hens, as you said, these are employees. If they said something that was to go against the establishment line, they would be gone.
Yeah, they would. Bobby, so I don't know, but, Biden 24 is looking a lot like Biden 2020, if not worse. I mean, last night he and Jill participated in a campaign call with these grassroots supporters. 1,800 people tuned in to watch, and the teleprompter defeated him once again. Watch this.
When we look back years from now, we'll know whether we met this moment. So you got to let me tell you something, because that's so important. Because all of you, we will meet this moment because of you.
Okay, I don't know if that cut out for you. It cut out for me. I lost my audio here. But Bobby, most popular president in history? What do you say? I've got about 20 seconds left.
It was like Talladega Nights. He's like, what do I do with my hands? Where do I put my hands? And poor Jill has to stand there, but really it's her fault for pretending like this guy actually knows what he's talking about. It's the Truman Show. We're literally watching a comedy play out in real time. How sad.
Well, Bobby Sausalito, always a great time having you on the show. Thanks for joining us.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Great weekend.